Summer's here and the time is right for warm water dive trips. Last year I showed you how to pack for a temperate water dive trip as we headed down to South Africa for the winter. This year we're headed to the Caribbean. We need to pack light, we need to move fast, and we need to enjoy the warm tropical waters. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Divers Ready. My name's James. As always, so fantastic to see all of your smiling faces. I hope you're all doing really well. If you haven't done so already, do me one quick favor and just make your next dive on that subscribe button down there, because we make videos here at Divers Ready with one simple goal in mind, and that's to help make you a better scuba diver. We have a couple of warm water trips coming up this summer. Namely, we're heading to Utila in Honduras with our good friends Sabina and Joe from Off the Dock, who you would have seen in a video I put out not that long ago. And we're also heading to Grand Cayman with our good friends Robin and Steve, who you would have met in one of our very earliest videos. So you kind of know the crew that I'm hanging with this summer. It is time for me to update you on gear selections and packing tips for a warm water dive trip. For Utila then, from Miami, we're going to fly directly into Roatan, and then we are hopping a Cessna over from Roatan to Utila. It's a very short flight, but it's a very small aircraft, so we need to pack small and we need to pack light. For Grand Cayman, well, that's a direct flight from Miami, also on a major carrier, straight to Georgetown, but it's only a short break. We're only going for a few days, so again, I want to pack small and I want to pack light. What was that? Where did I get these awesome dive maps? Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Divers Ready, today's sponsor, Awesome Maps. As you can imagine, I have a ton of scuba diving friends in my network, and when birthdays and holidays roll around, I never know what to get them as a gift because they already have all the dive gear they need. But let me tell you, any diver will be absolutely delighted to receive an Awesome Maps dive map as a gift. It's unusual, it's inspirational, and it's a really fun tool for planning out and dreaming your dive adventures. The quality of the materials that they use, the canvas, the detail in the design is absolutely top notch. And in addition to everything, they're certified OECO-TEX Standard 100, which means that their production techniques and their materials are completely free of any harmful substances. They also sent me, and this is the thing I love the most, this awesome microfiber towel with their dive map printed onto it, which is free from any microplastic shedding. Again, awesome for the environment, and which, by the way, they've decided to make in man size. So I can actually use this towel and change under it. So it's definitely going into my dive kit and definitely going on all my dives home and away. There is a special link in the description of this video below which will get our Divers Ready family 20% off of your Awesome Maps shopping cart, and that's in addition to any other offers or bundles that Awesome Maps may be offering at the time. They also make a ton of other maps for other outdoor pursuits, from running to hiking to surfing and so on. I couldn't be happier than to be partnering with Awesome Maps, so I want to say thank you so much to Simon and his team for joining the Divers Ready family. Right, so the first thing I do is I make a packing list. You guys know this about me. I like my checklists. Guess what? You don't have to make one because I already made one for you. Also in the description of this video below will be a link to our digital resources page, and in that digital resources package is our packing list for temperate water and now warm water travel. I like packing lists because they keep me organised and make sure I don't miss anything, and I always print it out and actually fill in what item I'm going to take for each piece of kit. And then I use the same list to actually lay all the gear out and make sure I don't miss anything as I'm packing it, and then guess what? When I show up at the destination, I've got everything I need. I know I have more gear than the average diver, it's true, it's a problem. Moving on. But here are the selections on the pieces I'm planning on taking with me as we go around the Caribbean this summer. My BCD is going to be the Hollist 22ST single tank wing with an aluminium backplate. Really light, really compact, really thin, and ideal for warm water travel. I'm also taking, of course, my Awesome Maps Dive Map microfiber towel, and I'm going to use that as padding for my regulators. In this case, I'm taking the base model DC7 first stage with two 150LX second stages from Hollis. I'm in the process of testing these regs for review. I need a few more dives on them, and they're pretty good, pretty compact, so good for travel also. I want to take some super light fins with me, but I also need them to be open heel. So I've gone with this pair of Oceanic SL fins. Definitely stiff enough for a big guy like me, but also made out of entirely monoprene, so they're very light. I'm going to take some 3mm booties with me just because I like diving booties and open heel. I could use a full fit fin and cut down even more weight, but really that's my personal preference, is to have wetsuit booties, especially knocking around on boats and so on. Exo wear from Bear as my dive wear, just the shorts and the rash guard. If I have space, I might take a 3mm, but I don't really think I'm going to need a wetsuit, so that would be a bit of a luxury. The dive shorts I wear are actually just gym shorts, no particular brand, just quick drying material. And then I have an ultra clear mask from Atomics that I've been using a lot lately. Seems to be a really good fit for my huge gorilla face. A couple of bottles of Divers Ready brand Stream to Sea defog, of course. I need a dive computer, so I'm going to be taking my G1 Solar from Garmin, which also is in the process of being dived and tested and will eventually be reviewed on this channel. A very simple Hollis DSMB, a basic light, a line cutter, whistle, spool. And that's about it. That's really about it. So once I've laid all my gear choices out, I can visualize the volume and look for spaces. So things like fin pockets I can fill in. The mask box, well, I can put my whistle inside the mask box with my mask. Only then, once I get a sense of how much volume I actually need, do I decide on what luggage I'm going to take. Now, as you guys know, for like long haul or longer trips, I'm a big fan of the Pelican cases for that extra protection. But the cases themselves are very heavy. So on these trips, I'm going to use one Pelican for my camera gear, sure, but my actual dive gear is going to go into these bags that StyleSack sent me. Specifically this 27-inch roller bag and a carry-on dry duffel from their steel selection. This bag actually has separate wet and dry sections, but I'm going to use both for dive gear and just take my clothing and my toiletries in my carry-on. So fins in first. Make sure we're using the fin pockets by stuffing socks in there and other smaller items. This is not only an efficient use of the space, but it also stops your foot pocket from getting crushed down and deforming. Then on top of the fins, I like to put my soft items, my dive wear, the Awesome Maps towel is going in there, my swim shorts, my mask and other smaller items will just be tucked in and fit around the fins. And then the other half of the case perfectly fits my travel wing with its aluminium backplate, slides straight in there and zips up really conveniently. And because I did have a lot of space left over, this is really nicely compressed, I am going to add a 3mm wetsuit just in case. It's always nice, like I said, to have, but I don't really think I'm going to need it. The only items from my dive gear that are not going into my checked bag are my regulators, because you never check your regulators, and my dive computer, which will be on my wrist as my daily wear watch onto the plane and so on. So I'm going to put my regs into the duffel bag for now so that I don't forget them, but then I'm also going to use that duffel bag for my clothing and my toiletries and pad the regulators with my clothing, and I'm pretty sure that you guys don't need to watch me pack my undies. So all that's left is for me to pack my cameras and my housings, and we've already made a video on that, which I will link up above there somewhere. I want to say a great big thank you again to today's sponsor, Awesome Maps. Don't forget that you can get 20% off of your Awesome Maps purchase for being a Divers Ready viewer through the link in the description of this video below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next video. Dive safe, dive often.